Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about if-else statement, right? Which is we use that on our day-to-day life as well. So without further ado, let's just get on it. So what I'll do, let's just go ahead and create another Java class. So I'll just close this, and you guys should already know how to create a Java class. So if I click on the package, new class, right? Let's just call it if else statement, finish, right? So if else statement, how does this thing work is if the if block of the code is correct, if it's true, then your code will get executed. Okay. Else block is the code that gets executed if the if block of the code is not correct. Okay. And then we also have else if. Else if goes between if and else statement. So that is like another condition that we just put right after the if statement. So I know that's just a lot of talking. So without talking so much more, let's just go ahead and start coding. So yeah. So let's just go ahead and do this. So we have if, and as you know, if you type it in, it'll just give you all the different options that are there. And then we have if else statement and whatnot. I'm sorry, that's just my package. So we have all these different options that are available. So let's say we have if, right? So it's basically if condition is met, right? Then it should do, again, you can make it do whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to say if code block is correct. If code block, not is correct, if code block got executed, right? So if we say, let's say 50 is greater than 60, do you guys think that'll work? Right? Let's try to run this thing. It didn't work, so it didn't do anything. Do you know why? Because it is trying to execute, but the thing is 50 is not greater than 60, right? So this obviously wouldn't get executed. So that was like a trick thing that I just did on you guys. So if I put 70, however, if 70 is greater than 60, now I'm expecting this thing to get executed, okay? So if I do run Java application, there you go, see? If code block got executed. Again, we can put so many different things in here, but I just put that in there. Now, if I say, then there's also else statement, right? So if I was to do, just to do else, so let's say else, usually that's how we type. You know, we can always put this on the next line. We can also leave it here. It doesn't really matter. In this else is basically, that's what we're talking about. If this doesn't get executed, then this else block will get executed, whatever the reason is, right? So let's say I put as out, so else code block got executed. Okay. So now if I was to run this again, let's just try to run this. See, still it says if code block got executed, and the reason being is because this is still true. If code block is still true, 70 is greater than 60, right? But if we go back to the original example of 50 is greater than 60, which is false, right? This is not correct. In this case, I'm expecting this, else code block will get executed because 50 here, see, else code block got executed. Okay, now there's another condition which is called else if. Okay, Now, else if, what this is basically if this condition is not met, right? If this is not true, then it'll go into the else if, right? And then if for some reason, both if and else if they're both not met, if the conditions are not met, in that case, else will always get executed at the very end. So let's say I have over here, I have 50 is greater than 60, right? Which is obviously not true. Then I have, let's say, 65 is greater than 60, right? And I can do S out, and I can say else if code block got executed. Okay, so now what I'm expecting on this thing is false, obviously, right? So this shouldn't get executed. This, however, is correct. So I am actually expecting this to get executed. Okay, so let me just, right? So I'm actually expecting if this is not going to get executed, else if should get executed, else will not get executed because, you know, this is already true. This is already met. In that case, it'll just stop the program there. So let's just run this thing. See, else code block got executed. I hope that makes sense. So if this is true, right? If this is true, everything else will get ignored. For some reason, if this is false, then it'll go into the else if block. If else if block exists, in that case, it'll go to the else if block to see if this condition is met, if this condition is true, right? If this condition is correct. If it is, then it'll ignore everything afterward. So in Java, all the program, it runs from top bottom. It'll go to if, then else if, then else, right? And then the last one, if and else if both of these conditions are not met, if both of these are false, right? If both of them are not correct, in that case, it'll just go to the else block and it'll just say, you know, the condition is not met. Whatever the case is, I hope that made sense to you guys. Yeah, I hope that made sense to you guys. If you guys do have any other questions, obviously, please do let me know. Yeah, do let me know. And please don't forget to subscribe and comment. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.